What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a brand new video. Now you join me today for another car review. As you can see, I have with me the VW Polo GTI AW. So this is the facelift, the latest generation VW Polo GTI. Big thanks to the owner for bringing the car out here for me to film. He also does some car content on TikTok. Now I'll put his TikTok on screen right now. I'll also leave a link down in the description below. Now I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's get right into it. Okay, so the AW facelift. Now a couple of months back, I've actually done a review on the AW pre-facelift and the 6C. Now I wanted to start some kind of series where I compare the three latest generation VW Polo GTIs, but it has taken a while until we're able to review the AW facelift. But nonetheless, I'll still continue that series, and I'll give you guys my final conclusion in the driving part of this video on how the three latest generation Polo GTIs compare: 6C, AW pre-facelift, and this AW facelift. Now let's get into the looks of this car. Now I actually think out of the three, this might as well be the most beautiful looking. There's just something about how they've integrated the daytime running lights and the shape of the headlights overall, the IQ lights. It just looks so beautiful, and this red GTI striping just looks a lot more vibrant on this generation of Polo GTI, and you still get the full width light bar on the front, which is part of the daytime running light system. On the GTI, you get all these honeycomb shapes down below. You also have integrated fog lights, a little GTI badge right there in red, and overall the front is, it's quite a neat, beautiful looking thing. If you come around to the side, this one actually has the upgraded 18-inch rims hugged by 215mm tires, and it's wearing Michelins. The owner fitted some Michelins to his. I think standard they come with Continentals. And also there's quite a lot of cosmetic touches on this example in particular. He's went for a full gloss black roof. He's gloss blacked the mirrors, and this GTI housing badge, he's done it in gloss black, which would otherwise be in chrome. But the side, quite a simplistic looking thing, doesn't look all too different from say your R-Line or even the standard life Polo. It does have some few aggressive body lines just to help distinguish it. You also get a few more, while slightly more aggressive side skirts, and if you come around to the back, you get the same rear wing that you also get on the R-Line. Just helps the car look a lot more sportier. The back, I feel like the lights, the tail lights are a bit too big for the car, but it does have the dynamic turning signals. You do have the GTI badging in the center, and like always on the Polo GTIs, you get the twin exhaust tailpipes on the left side, which, overall the exterior does look clean, looks beautiful as well. Let's actually check out the interior. Okay, so the interior, I think first start quality. Now quality in here isn't amazing because there are some cost-cutting measures, particularly on the doors. They pretty much use hard plastic throughout the entire door cart, the lower section area of the center console, and when you get to the higher up dashboard, you do have some soft padded rubber. But other than that, the fitment is quite good because everything feels very solid. There isn't really any creaks. I mean, you will get some creaks, particularly on the plastic sections, but overall the interior feels a lot more luxurious and special than, say, in something like a Suzuki Swift Sport. And quality as well, like I mentioned, is quite good. Climate controls as well, touch sensitive. your fan speed, your temperature controls, your different airflow modes, and so on. Infotainment screen, decently sized. Apple CarPlay is available, Android Auto, and it's relatively responsive. It's quite good. I mean, it's VW. They're quite well established when it comes to their UI systems. I don't think it's something that we can complain about. Ooh, the steering wheel. Something I forgot about the steering wheel is, obviously, this being a GTI, you get a more sportier steering wheel with perforated grip points, flat bottom. You get slightly bigger pedals than, say, in a standard R-Line or standard Polo with the DSG box. You do get sportier seats in the GTI, integrated headrest, and they're almost a one-piece seat. They're covered in leather, and here you get a traditional handbrake. You can do some handbrake turns if so you wish. Practicality is good. The door pockets are quite big, but the center, I mean, the cup holders, so as to say, are quite small and awkwardly shaped, so you can't really fit big bottles there. You do have stuff like 2 USB ports, both USB-C. This one is also spec'd with keyless access, so there is a lot of features that you get in the Polo, although a lot of the stuff is optional extras. But let's actually check out the room in the back seat. Okay, so the back seat. Now, the VW Polo is significantly smaller than the Golf, and as you can see, this seat is currently sitting in my driving position, and I'm about medium height or average height for a guy. And as you can see, knee room is quite, yeah, it's quite a bit cramped. Leg room is doable, but once you try to stretch your feet forward, it gets a bit tight. Headroom is quite decent for a car of this size. I have plenty of headroom, but obviously for people who are a lot taller, 6 foot tall, it will be a challenge, but it's not too bad. There is a bit of a huge hump for the transmission tunnel, so moving in between the seats will be a challenge, and also sitting in the middle seat, yeah, it's a bit awkward, as you can see. But back here, you don't really get much luxuries, but you do get 2 USB-C ports, which is, yeah, quite nice. But you don't get rear climate vents, which is interesting. You still get the nice leather back here with some red stitching. And overall, it's quite a decent place to be. Room is just a bit tight. Let's actually check out the boot space. So the boot space on the VW Polo GTI facelift, so as to say. Now, interesting thing, the standard Polo of this generation has about 351 liters in boot capacity. On the GTI, it's actually slightly smaller at 305 liters. Now, I've been trying to think why. I think it has to do with the battery sitting in the boot on the GTI models, whereas on the non-GTI cars it's actually in the front. So yeah, you get a slightly smaller boot, but still a decent spacing. As you can see, the shaping makes it easy to load stuff. There is a bit of a loading lip, but nothing too hectic. You do get these 2 pockets on either side. Well, actually you only get one. I say that there's only 1 pocket on the left side, but yeah, that is the boot. Okay, so let's talk value on this shape of Polo GTI. Now, the numbers are a bit of a mouthful, so do bear with me. Now, the production line on these, in our market at least, started in 2022, and it's still running till this day. Now, brand new retail price from VW, these start from 549,000 rands before options. Now, market value is a different thing. Now, in terms of market value, the earlier 2022 cars, high mileage, go from 450,000 rands all the way to low 500s. So the later cars, 2024 models, they go for, which is crazy, around 630,000 rands, which is insane. Some of these second-hand dealers charge crazy money for these. Now, retail price and market value are 2 different things. So yeah, that's the pricing and market value for this new shape Polo GTI. Okay, so the technicalities on the VW Polo GTI. A couple of interesting things I want to talk about. But let's start with the engine. Now you're looking at the infamous E8888 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder, in this case pushing 147 kilowatts, which is around 200 metric horsepower and 320 Newton meters of torque. Interesting enough, other markets actually get more power on the facelift Polo GTI. They get 152 kilowatts. So we are categorized as hot climate regions, and apparently something to do with the type of fuel that we use, so we get less power. Doesn't really make sense because this same engine in other models makes 169, 180 kilowatts in Golf GTIs and so on. But hey, it is what it is, I guess. Now, I'm not really sure if these come with a limited slip diff. Maybe it depends on region and markets again. But if it does, remember, with a limited slip diff, it just helps manage the power between the driving wheels and also manage the traction or stability control in general. Now you get DCC, dynamic chassis control, where in comfort mode the suspension is nice and soft. In the sportier modes, it stiffens up for that more sportier driving feel. And yeah, that's pretty much all the technicalities on the Polo GTI. One interesting thing about this one in particular, it actually has a downpipe for the exhaust done by Rogue Performance. Something I highly recommend on these later VW Polo GTIs because they are filtered with regulation particular filters, and it just kills off the sound a lot. So you guys will also get to hear how this one sounds. So let's just take a listen to the exhaust and actually experience how this thing drives. So guys, driving the new VW Polo GTI, actually haven't really experienced these, like driving it hard, so as to say. But when it comes to ride comfort, I mean, the suspension is solid. You can tell it's sport suspension, but it's not uncomfortable really. It still deals well with bumps and all, but you can tell it's a lot more focused than a regular Polo, so as to say. I think since now we're going to pass under a bit of an underpass, I'll check it into sport for the gearbox, then I'll take it to manual, and then drive mode I'll go into sport as well. And yeah, we'll actually do like a decent pull away, and let's see what the AW facelift is all about. But overall it feels the same as the pre-facelift. Well, at least when it comes to the mechanical side, it feels literally exactly the same, slightly enhanced by the different aesthetics, like the new look interior, the different look exterior. It's a bit windy today, but like I said, I highly recommend this downpipe that the owner has done, because stock exhaust, these just sound outright terrible. Like there's no emotion, there's no excitement, there's literally nothing. I think this car should have came the way this downpipe sounds. I mean, when it comes to the performance, you can tell that this engine has a lot more to give. Slightly toned down rather, just so it doesn't sit above. Oh, this is actually fun, eh? But when you hit, there are some bumps here on these traffic circles. It does unsettle the car a bit, because I've driven the i30N a lot here, and also the TCR. They feel a lot more stable even under bumps. I'm just gonna try this bump. Yeah, this car, it judders a bit under bumps. Whereas in the i30N, the TCR, they just feel a lot more solid and a lot more stable on these bumps. But the car is actually fun, I have to say. Like cornering, let's hit the bump, yeah. Oh. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. I approve, actually. Because like I said, I haven't really experienced these under load. But when you do push on, it's actually quite fun. Yeah, the bumps do unsettle the whole thing a bit. The sound is slightly enhanced through the speakers, so on the inside you can't really hear what's going on outside, but with the downpipe it actually makes a decent difference, hey? Because I'm trying to imagine how it would sound like stock, but in here, man, oh man, to be honest, I've never really desired one of these, but with this setup, with the downpipe, it makes sense. It really does make sense. Especially if you don't have the money for the Golf GTI, the latest generation, that is the Golf 8. Yeah, and I tell you, this grin on my face right now, it's actually quite genuine. I think the last time I've smiled like this was in the 6C. And the 6C is often praised as the best driving, the best handling, well, not really handling, but the most fun Polo GTI that you can go for. But I'm not really sure anymore after driving this one with the downpipe, because trust me, it does make a big difference. Oh man, this is fun. Ah, wow. I don't think okay, brakes. Good chance to test the brakes. They're solid. They're solid. Definitely. Most VW Audi Group cars make decent brakes. I don't think any of the modern Polo GTIs. I've driven a few AWs, pre-facelifts. I've driven a few facelifts. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, people often say these are expensive. It is an expensive car. I mean, a base price of $549. But there's just, you can even hear the intake. Yes, Rogue. Yes, I approve. Guys, if you have one of these, even the pre-facelift, please go for this Rogue downpipe or any other downpipe that's decent. But I trust Rogue. Rogue makes some of the best exhaust systems in our country. Or custom exhaust systems, that is. Actually, when I came here, I was prepared to be bored. I won't lie, I was prepared to be bored by the car. I actually don't have anything more to say, but funny enough, I just want to keep on driving because I am genuinely enjoying it. Performance is decent. I mean, you catch speed, actually it's fast, damn. Over 120, yo. And a private road. Yeah, man. Oh, wow. Okay. I think if I'm going to recommend one of these, I mean, brand new is always better in our eyes because, you know, you get to bond with the car, you get it new, you get to build up the mileage from scratch. But I'd actually recommend like a demo or a low mileage car, 10,000 kilos, maybe even 20,000 kilos, just so you spend a bit less, you know. But yeah, this is how I'd sum it up. Yeah. Oh, damn. This is actually fun. Okay, yeah, the 6C feels like the more raw car, even the suspension inside. You get a lot more rattles in the 6C. The gearbox is a lot more aggressive. It punches you on gear shifts. And I would say, sure, it's true to an extent, the 6C is the more fun car. The AW pre-facelift is a bit awkward because it's pretty much this car, just with slightly different looks, slightly better tech, same engine and all. So it's exactly like this car, but it costs a lot less. So it sits in between the two. So if you don't have the money for this, you're better off with the pre-facelift, 100%. There is literally nothing you're losing on. So, and overall, that's the one I would recommend because it offers the best value and also it's slightly improved when it comes to overall reliability, because the 6Cs are quite a nightmare. They're quite unreliable, and this is just the newer model, and often newer is better. That's how people perceive things in general. So this is newer, so it comes with newer tech. Oh, almost jumped the circle. Comes with newer tech and all, but the one I'd recommend, best value for money, pre-facelift. 6C, most fun, but you have to think about the maintenance, the unreliability. This one, maybe go for a demo model or one with a few mileage, so as to say. So that's where I would leave it off with these three. I'll also link the other reviews of the pre-facelift and the 6C down in the description below. Losing my words a bit, but nonetheless, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks once again to the owner for bringing the car out here. And yeah, until next time, that's just from me.